Hello everybody, welcome back to Automation Empire. I'm Tenacious Viking, your empire builder and host. Well, when last we left you, we had just built, well actually I think I did it off camera, built all this stuff, finished all this stuff. We have, what do we have, ethanol up here, we have ionized something here, and we have, I think it's carbon meal here. But we don't have anything in here yet. So we're getting things falling into place and getting delivered finally, so we can start to distribute some of that. Well, we got some ethanol going there. Capacitors, that's it. Ionized capacitors. I knew I'd think of it. I didn't try so hard. We don't have much. Oh, okay. We have the capacitors getting delivered here, and then we have them getting picked up here. And apparently, we're also picking them up there for somewhere. We'll have to figure out where that is when we get time. I'm kind of waiting for more ethanol to be delivered. Yeah, we don't. Apparently, we're only getting half of them. So, what are we chasing? Is this the capacitors? I think. No, this is the carbon meal. Okay. Because we don't have any. Because the spout was turned off. I'm not sure why I would have turned that off. Probably while I was working on it, huh? Well, if you haven't figured out by now, I am post-narrating this because, once again, my microphone wasn't working. Don't know why. I guess I have to double and triple check everything, even when I'm pretty sure it's working. But anyway. Okay, we got some capacitors being brought in. We got should have some carbon meal being brought in a minute. I'd like to see more ethanol. Well, we got a few here, I guess. Now, okay, I'm getting capacitors from somewhere, and I'm delivering them. I think I'm getting the capacitors from on top, above, and then delivering them to someplace on the bottom and on the, yeah, okay, there's the factory that's making them. And we have lots of capacitors, so I should be able to add some cars to deliver more, stay on top of it better. Could even add more if I need to, but we'll see how many there are left when it comes back with another delivery. As I'm post-narrating this, I'm seeing a slideshow, basically. I hope you'll be seeing some video, but I can't guarantee it. Just had an update from Windows, and that's gonna mess everything up for a few days, as usual. As you can see, I have some bits and pieces of track that I'm not using anymore that probably should delete so I don't get confused, because it's kind of confusing anyway. Although I don't know if I'll need that run or not. I don't think I will. So if we can get all this going. Oh, okay. Oh, that's where I'm getting them, is from there. All right. Yeah, because I was making the ionized capacitors here, but they don't go into trains, and I haven't noticed. I assume they're going into the rockets because I don't see a buildup of any. Of course, I'm not sure we're making any either. So yeah, it says coal down at the bottom, and then up top there where it shows you how to make it, it actually says ionized capacitors, which is what it is. We probably need to clean up some of this train loading stuff. We have two different things that are not being fed anymore. We'll just delete that. Destroy contents. This is such spaghetti, and it's because it evolved over time. And I just I have moved some to make others more easier to build, but I haven't moved it all, and maybe I should. I don't know. Okay, now here's where we're making ethanol, and I redid this track, but I wanted to deliver ethanol over to the rockets and couldn't figure out a way to do it in the space I had. So it's actually one continuous track. It fills up on the outside, comes around the outside, and fills up the train loader, and then it comes back in, turns around, and goes back out to the rockets. And see, there's only 3 cars with anything on it. So we definitely need to increase that, because that's it's just not going to make it, I don't think. Although the crates, they seem to keep making crates with ethanol after the ethanol's gone, which is weird. But I don't know. Okay, there we go. There's some ethanol. It's making... Yeah, there's the ionized capacitors. The blue things. We've got some of that going on. We have 3 more rockets already. I know we have 2 things to put on. I think we have a third. I think we have 3 things that we are not loading on rockets. I'm just not sure what they are or where they are. Apparently, you only get an achievement in this game when you hit 30,000 kilograms in each of the maps, without cheating. So, yeah, and then you get more. Like there's 12 to 14 maps. I don't remember. But you can also get another achievement if you hit 45,000 on each of those maps. I don't know if I'll ever do that. I haven't hit 45,000 on any of the maps yet, because I didn't know what I was doing, And I don't know if that applies to the first one or not. I should look that up. Not quite sure how to do that. It looks like the game has frozen, so I'll be back when it's unfrozen. Well, we definitely had a crash, and so we're back up, and yeah, we got some carbon meal, we got some capacitors. We don't have a lot of the ethanol yet. So I had to put water in this factory because the ionized capacitors have to have water, be refined with water. We're at 29,980. We need to hit 30,000, and we haven't gained any yet. But I would think with 3 new rockets getting something that we would be able to hit 30,000. We shall see, I guess. There's some ethanol. All right. Let's see how fast that's depleted, though. Hey, there goes the carbon wheel rocket. The carbon wheel rocket. That sounds strange, doesn't it? Oh, well. I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't figure out a way to do rockets without, spacing them apart a bit. But it really makes a lot of sense because you can bring the rockets to where you already have the factories. Plus, if you put them next to each other, you really have. There just isn't room for enough things to fill them. You'd have to double up probably. I don't think that's. You could do that. It wouldn't be that hard to do. But we're barely filling these things as it is, so I don't think it's worth trying to get too fancy. If I needed to, if we had to go 65 or 70,000, yeah, I'd do that. I'd put the same thing into 2 rockets next to each other. Yeah, okay, so the ethanol is not lasting, and the carbon meal is not lasting. Get rid of some extra track. There's a lot of extra track around, and it's really kind of in the way. Plus, you get your money back for it, so that helps. I'm not hurting for money. I got 16 million, but at some point in the game, your expenses are going to exceed your income. You're going to start to fall back. Your cash on hand is going to start to drop, because taxes are based on all of the money you've made in the entire game, not just on what you made this month or whatever. So it really is designed for those taxes and other fees to go up and up and up and up and up, and to surpass your income. In case you missed it, I'm post-narrating because I didn't have any sound, any narration for some reason. I'm still not sure why. It's about the third time it's happened, and I've gone back and replayed parts of some games because of it, but I can't do that with Automation Empire. It doesn't give me a chance to save multiple files or anything. It just saves over itself every time. So, yeah. I could maybe have gone back to an autosave, but probably not. So the trains apparently are filling, even with just like 2 or 3 things to put on them. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Now, my concern is what happens when some of the things being loaded run out that I cut off on the trains. Will I still have enough? So, I really ought to keep an eye on that. But we seem to have plenty of coal everywhere, I think. I wonder if there's a shortage somewhere. At this stage of the game, raw materials are the kind of focus, because you add water to those factories, and man, they use up the resources. There's the wibbly wobbly track for that train. I probably could straighten that out a bit, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I care that much. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool too. That's that third track that I added in to get to the goal we had, so we could get rockets. Still have, we got plenty of ethanol. Did I cut that off to the train? I maybe shouldn't have done that. Got 3 more rockets ready to go, and we've got, what do we have? We got carbon mill already. Can't think of what we still need to add to that. Well, grain meal maybe. I don't know, you don't get much for that, but I think there's other things you could do. These things are still not really getting filled, and I really just love to start at the beginning with raw resources and set production levels so that all of these things are constantly, the rockets are constantly filling. And I don't know how to do that. It's too complicated for my little brain. Now let's see. We don't have. What are we supposed to have here? Just gold, or I guess just gold, huh? But it's not getting to that tank to load onto the rocket. So why not? Why am I going through this factory with something out to the rocket? I've forgotten what that is too. It's not easy playing a little bit of a game every few days. You forget what you're doing, and Oh, okay. That tank was not yellow. That's the product, and that was not yellow for some reason. I may have cut that off to get something else done, but I need to. I got plenty of raw materials now, I think. Well, that should be gold plates then. So that should be. Boy, look at this long Overhead claw track into this rocket. I'll repeat that I basically, while I'm post-narrating this, I'm seeing a slideshow, not video. I hope the video will work for you. It usually does work better when I render it and post it than it does during editing, which I'm not a fan of. But am I taking some gold and sending it somewhere? Or am I bringing... Oh, I'm bringing gold that way. That's how I'm getting gold in there. That's why. Yeah, I have to bring stuff from the back end. I don't know, front end. I don't know which one. To me, it's the back end because it's where the output is. But I have to bring resources in there because I don't have enough room in the corner of the map here. I wonder if the other maps are any bigger than this map. It's just the second map. First one I think is small, but I'm not sure. That'll be something to look at. I will be playing an additional map or two in this game, and if I find one that looks interesting, I'll probably do another series on it because I've learned a lot playing really twice through now. This one and my off-camera one that I still can't figure out how to get 45,000, but that's because the whole thing is kind of messy. Someday I might just nuke everything and start over, kind of, or at least major new starts there. See if I can get to 45,000. I'd like to do that. But it might be a better use of my time to start over somewhere. Okay, we have plenty of ethanol and the capacitors to load. All right, 30,000 kgs, and I'm gonna continue playing. Haven't heard from you yet whether you want to see me go to 45, but I'm gonna start going that direction to see if I can get consistent growth. But we did it. We met our objective for this map by moving 30,000 kilograms of material in 3 months. And it was, as I suspected, a simple matter of adding more rockets and, if necessary, cutting back on the material going to other methods of transportation, primarily the railroads. I don't think I've cut anything off of the trucks. Man, it still bothers me when I've got tracks on one side and then they cross way over to the other side of existing tracks. It's like, why didn't you just run it on the right side in the first place? But I guess in some cases I used existing tracks, so that was maybe one of the reasons. Now, what do we have here? Now, we've got, carbon itself we could put on a rocket. Grain meal, I think we could put on a rocket. And it still seems like there's one more thing I had in mind from here to load. Not sure. That must be oil in that second from the left there between the coal and the grain. Red grain is doing well. Green grain is a little light. We don't have much of that. We only have 2 carloads there, and since I've increased the red grain, there might be more demand for green grain. That would involve adding a green grain field right there in that bottom, below the existing 2. But I'll have to cut the water pipe to do that, and I have to extend the tracks. Yeah, I should extend the tracks first, because when I cut water, that's going to cut off all the grain production. So we'll extend the track, we'll cut water production, put in a new green grain field, and then probably add a car or 2 to that track and see if we can increase the output of grain meal, because we're eating a lot of it. Okay, that is the feeder from the water reservoir. So when I cut that, it's going to cut it to all the fields. So we'll wait for the carts to come around and cut up that track and extend it. Here we go. And go. There, okay. Sometimes things pop in slowly. Now I gotta hurry and get the other end connected too, because it's gonna... I don't have to do it this way. I could pause and just fix that, but I kind of like to do it on the fly and see if I can. I have stopped things on an emergency basis when I didn't quite get track done. I don't know if I've done that in this game, but I know I did it in the other one. Okay, we're going to let them pick up grain one more time. And then we'll cut the water. They are now all without water and not producing. I gotta get this in and hook up the water. There, sweet. Okay. Oh, I also have to get a greenhouse cover on and a spout. I don't think there's anything to spout right now, but there will be the next time it comes around. So I should add some carts to try to move more green grain. I'm not even sure where the grain mill is going anymore. I have to trace everything just to figure out what I'm doing, because this has gotten complicated. I'm going to make some space for potential addition of 2 more fields, a red and a green. I'm moving this track up and out of the way. And I don't know why I moved the water pipe up a level there between the green and the red, because I'm not running track there. I thought I was, but I'm not. So if I redo that, I won't have to go up. So we're ready to expand that, both red and green. Oh, I don't know if I can expand red there because the track jiggles. Didn't know that. Oops. Yeah. I don't seem to need more red. I mean, I got twice as much red as green, which makes sense because I'm using red for 2 things and green only for 1. So that makes sense. Well, I feel like I need to call a halt to it here. So we'll see what happens next time. See if we can make progress above 30,000 and maybe get some other things set up as well. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome new subscribers. Join me again for Transport Fever 2. And remember, be kind.